Now, I'm going to hand over to Mark from the United Stand, who'll be joining us at this time every Tuesday to talk all things Manchester United. And this week, he will join in on the England conversation. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Justin. How you doing?
I'm all good, baby. How are you?
Really good, really good. Talking of England, I don't know whether you're aware, England under 21s, Marcus Rashford scoring a hat-trick, which is fantastic for Manchester United, but also England as well.
Phenomenal. Rashford is on fire. I think the scoreline is currently still 5-1 against Norway, Mark. Is that right?
I literally was setting up, I had to leave it. The last I heard was 4-0, so he might have scored another one. It was a hat-trick at last I'd heard.
Unbelievable. He should have been picked, shouldn't he? Allardyce should have picked him, surely.
100%. I mean, I've been saying it for a while. I was laughed at about a month ago when I said that Rashford is the best striker in England. Forget Harry Kane, Vardy. We Manchester United fans know how technically good this lad is. And when you look at his hat-trick from today, yes, it's the under-21s. It's a bit like Messi playing a team of Stevie Wonders, but you've got to score the goals. And he's just a top player. Big Sam's made himself look like a big idiot by not picking him because we were so toothless on Sunday. Was it Sunday or Saturday?
Sunday.
It was Sunday. Rashford's got to play. He's got to play for Manchester United on Saturday. He's got to play for England. This lad's a star. We were on the show for last week saying we've always picked young players when they're ready. He's ready.
Rashford's ready, not my words, Mark's words from United Stand. Mark, I love you, baby. I'm going to hand over to you now. Work your magic.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Justin. United Stand on Fan TV then. I've got the live comments up. Get commenting, give us your thoughts. But I want to start with Rashford on fire. Guardiola's terrified. It's the Manchester derby at the weekend. Manchester United, Manchester City. Who's going to come out on top? We'll talk about that in a moment. I was going to start off about Wayne Rooney. The fact that it's interesting, isn't it? The media, the British media, they've loved Wayne for so long. They're starting to turn on him. It's not new news to United fans. He splits, he divides. He's like a chainsaw through a toffee crisp. But where do you stand? What are you thinking going forward? Starting with Rashford, though. As I was just saying to Justin there, had to be in the England squad. I was devastated. Lots of you said, calm down, Mark. It's not that important. It is important. He should be part of that squad. He's a fantastic forward. He's the best we've got, I think. Technically, he's got to play for England, but more importantly, he's got to play for Manchester United. I think when it comes to the derby on Saturday, where you fit him into the team, get commenting, let us know what you think. My thoughts are he plays on the right side. You put Rashford on the right, Mkhitaryan's injured, you put Martial on the left, you put Zlatan up front. Rooney is going to play at number 10, but what a team that is in relation to Martial scoring for France the other night. I don't know what he's done tonight. In relation to Rashford, banging form, scoring the goal against Hull. He scored in the derby, let's not forget. He took, was it Dembele's? Even Louis van Gaal beat City. But Rashford scored in that game, didn't he, as well? So he's got to play. I think his form anyway against Hull would suggest he would play. Tonight, he's ripped up the rule book. Mourinho has to play him. Absolutely has to play him. Rashford to start in the derby, says Dale Niche. I totally agree with you. Last 25 to 20 minutes, says Dan DeMann. I think he's got to start. And David Connolly saying Rashford top drawer already. He's got to start. He has to start. How good can Rashford be? I'm going to pick up on that on the United Stand probably later on, but I think he can go anywhere, absolutely anywhere. I think when you look at the goals tonight, it's a collection of goals. He's almost, we thought Anthony Martial was going to be Thierry Henry-esque, but I think Rashford fits into that category better. He's so smooth. He glides across the floor so fast. His finishing is immaculate. It's not, I've watched Michael Owen through my life. I've seen the likes of Sterling, and they score goals, but it doesn't look natural. When Rashford's running through on goal or he's taking his chances, it's like FIFA goals when you're playing well. It's smooth, it's in the top corner, the keeper's nowhere near it, and it comes natural to him. As I've always said, if he can steer clear of injury, he can go anywhere. And the fact that he plays for Manchester United is fantastic. But I tell you what, England need to and will enjoy him as well. I thought, picking up on what Justin said, I thought Big Sam, big mistake, but it benefits England, doesn't it? Let's move on to Rooney, though. Rashford on fire. I could talk about him all night, but let's be honest, says Bergie Berg. Let's be honest, Rashford has been our best player since he broke onto the scene. And that is very, very true from a United perspective. When he came into the team around February time, wasn't it, last season, he's been the player that's ignited our season, got us to the FA Cup, made us exciting with Martial, and that can only get better. He just needs minutes. Dave Poulton says, will Jose ever start with Ibra and Rashford? Inevitable, he will do. I think we're going through, and it's a nice little, I like that, Dave. It's a nice little lead in. We're intrinsically linked there into Rooney. Rooney will play. Rooney will play on Saturday in the derby, and Rooney will play for the foreseeable. But long term, this is the cycle, the circle of life. Rooney's coming towards the end of his footballing life, and Rashford's at the start of his. So it is natural that Rashford and Zlatan will play together. But I think Rashford, the wonder of him, he can play absolutely anywhere. He can play on the right, he can play on the left, he can play up front. And actually, I think he could probably play number 10. But let's talk about 10. Let's talk about Rooney. Where do you think the media are going with this? Are they turning on Rooney for good? He's been their fan golden boy for a long, long time. As a brand, he is second to none. But football is not played on paper. It's played on grass. Rooney, a lot of United fans, even I've jumped onto that bandwagon in the last few months, that I really do think he is in a terminal decline that's not going to get any better. I don't think it's past him to play in the derby on Saturday and produce something like he has done in the past. But consistent form, I think it's going to go towards the 5 and 6 out of 10s rather than what we want to see from Rooney, which is the 7, 8s and 9s. He can still do it. If he does it on Saturday, fantastic, because he will play. But I don't think he's got it in him anymore. And it's interesting that finally, some would say, the British media are starting to feel that way about England as well. Big Sam Allardyce basically coming out, you know, shining his shoes for him almost, saying, you know, you can play anywhere you want. He's Wayne Rooney, he's undroppable. I think that's riled a few United fans because, you know, in general, I don't think anybody should be bigger than Manchester United. Anybody should be droppable. So to hear that from England, well, that's their funeral, isn't it? But from a Manchester United perspective, divides opinion, like I say. I'll play him in the derby on Saturday. I think it's too big a game to drop him, and the media fallout from it and the leadership, although I don't think he really, really can lead a pack of ants to a picnic, I think dropping him on Saturday would cause more problems than it's worth. And also, he did set up that goal against Hull, didn't he? Zlatan at 10, Rooney at right wing, and Rashford up front. Where are we going? Whoa, Philo Estefanos. He's putting Rooney on the wing. I don't know about that, but I would like to see Rashford up front. Zlatan at 10. I think Zlatan, we'll come into this in a minute, I think Zlatan has to play at number 9. You know, John Stones against Zlatan. Give me analogies there. It's men against boys, but it's better than that. It's, you know, he's going to batter him. He's had Wes Morgan for breakfast. He's had Jose Fonte for lunch. He's going to have John Stones for dinner and probably Otamendi for dessert. But Zlatan's got to play at number 9. You've got to bully that Man City defence. I think Man City are quite a weak side anyway, so he's got to play there. I would not be putting Rooney on the right wing, but each to their own. Sajid Naseem says, big Rooney fan, but also have to agree he's going downhill. Probably the most, you know, I really do respect that opinion because you get a lot of Rooney fanboys who will just back into the hill, and whilst I respect that, I think that sort of comment there is probably the middle ground, the sensible ground. There's those who haven't liked Rooney for a long time. There's those who will back him whatever. I think the middle ground is he can still produce bits, but not enough for what Manchester United need. And he is, unfortunately, on the decline. And the reason he's on the decline, for me, it comes down to the fact that he's been playing since he was about 16. That's 15, 16 years. He's had no major injury. Every international tournament with the weight of the world on his shoulders. He's just slowing down. He's slowing down. It's natural. It is natural, and this is what happens. And as Dale Niche says there, Rooney is too slow. Schnuck, I can't get that name. I'll have to go up to Carrick fans. Zlatan number 10, Rashford up front, Rooney on the bench. I'm liking that one better than the right wing one. Mark, Rooney's not going to be dropped, says Philo. Yeah, he won't be. I totally agree with that. But talking about the derby, my predictions for the derby, I was listening to a little bit today on the radio and stuff. Few people saying 1-1, some people saying that there's only one goal in it. I don't know. I think there's the rule book again can be ripped up in relation to this. It could be 0-0, it could be 1-0, it could be 4-0. I'm not going to read out every score it could be because we'll be here all night. But I think in relation to the derby, I think it will be dictated by the first 20 minutes. Whether it's cagey and both teams sort of let it be cagey, or whether there's an early goal. I could see United winning it 3 or 4-0 if they bully City and get an early goal. On the other hand, I can't really see City doing that to United. I just think Jose would never allow... I mean, we've had it a bit this week with some City fans saying the 6-1 result. Well, I think that was 2-1 or 3-1 on the 90th minute, and Sir Alex went for it like he always did, and they scored 3 in stoppage time. So that's not going to happen under Jose. You know, he'd rather lose 1-0 than lose 3 or 4-0. So it will happen. I think United will win it, and I think it'll either be 1 or 2-1, 1-1. 1-0 or 2-1, or it'll be 3 or 4-0 to United. Now, you know, you heard it here first. If you think that's right, that's great. Louise O'Donoghue, regular on the United stand, she says 3-1 to United. I would take that. And the absence of Aguero will swing it towards United. Well, we don't know what the team news is yet. I think we'll leave it another day before we do our preview on the United stand, because there's still chance that Mkhitaryan and Luke Shaw hopefully will be fit, but we will just have to wait and see in relation to that. 2-1 to United, Zlatan on the sheet, says Sajid. Very good. Shashida Hola says, you just hate Rooney. Rooney was good with England. You're wrong on both counts. Great stuff from Mark on Fan TV, says Lynn Hall. Another regular, thanks for that. I think I'm sort of drawing towards the end of my 12 minutes. I'm just waiting for a voice in my ear to wrap it up. But thanks for those who've hopped over. And if you're not part of the United stand, also just commenting. It's fantastic. It gives me something to interact with. Gundogan apparently back for City for the derby, says Louise Heisted. Not too worried about him. I think Fellaini will school him. And Daryl MUFC Stimpson, can we see some red cards in this match like past matches? Ooh, Daryl, that's a bit aggressive, but I know what you mean. You want to see a bit of fight, a bit of passion, and you'll certainly hear that from the crowd. I think that's going to be a guarantee, and I think Fellaini offers that, doesn't he? As much as, you know, might not be a big fan of Fellaini, it's good that hopefully he will be fit, because he'll definitely put his foot, elbow, and hair into tackles. I think I'm just thanks.
Sir. Thank you so much, Mark. Phenomenal. Same time next week.
Hope so. Yeah. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Mark. Love you, baby.
Cheers.
Let's hear it from Mark from United Stand. Phenomenal. Mark.